My beloved child, today I am speaking to you with clarity and purpose, and this message is not meant to be rushed, skipped, or half-heard. What I will reveal toward the end of this message will make you think deeply about your life, your faith, and why this Christmas and the coming new year are connected in a way you may not have noticed before. Before I speak further, if you desire to remain connected to my voice and grow in faith through messages like this, subscribe now and stay part of this community. My child, today I am speaking to God's chosen ones. Not chosen because you are perfect, but chosen because you stayed faithful when believing became difficult. This message comes before Christmas, and it carries meaning for what begins before the first days of the coming year. Some things must be settled before new beginnings can stand firm. I want you to hear this clearly. What I am releasing is not only blessing but alignment. Not only provision but stability. Not only wealth but peace that protects what is given. Many people think divine blessing arrives loudly and suddenly, but what comes from heaven often arrives quietly and remains. I am not a God of confusion. When I bless a house, I do not bring fear with it. This is why I am asking you to stay. Not because blessing disappears if you leave, but because understanding does. When people rush away too quickly, they often misunderstand what I am doing and miss how to walk forward wisely. Scripture says that wisdom is more valuable than riches, because wisdom preserves what is given. This is why listening matters. Now hear this carefully. The enemy does not always attack with fear. Sometimes he distracts with noise, hurry, and impatience. Scripture says that the enemy comes to steal, not always by force, but often by distraction. That is why staying focused today matters. If you remain calm and listen fully, you will understand how to receive what is meant for you without anxiety or confusion. Now I speak of blessing. A billionaire-level blessing does not mean excess without purpose. It means provision with stability. It means resources that do not destroy peace. It means wealth that supports life, family, and calling, rather than controlling them. This blessing is for houses, for families, for future steps. No faithful house is excluded. Faithful does not mean flawless. Faithful means you did not walk away. Now I speak of help from heaven. I do not release blessing without protection. Where resistance tries to delay what has already been approved, my warrior Michael stands firm, ensuring that what I release reaches its destination safely. Michael does not bring fear. He brings order. This is why some losses never reached you. This is why some plans failed early instead of destroying you later. This is why protection was present even when you did not see it. Now understand this. Before 2026 begins, something must end properly. Sorrow cannot follow you into a new beginning without weakening it. Scripture says that there is a time to let go and a time to build. This season is about letting go. Letting go of fear. Letting go of exhaustion. Letting go of the belief that struggle must continue forever. Joy does not arrive because time passes. It arrives because trust returns. Now I ask you to take part. Speak now calmly and clearly. Say this aloud, and I trust God's timing. I believe God is ordering my life. I receive blessing with peace. Say it slowly. Your words do not force heaven. They align your heart with what heaven is already doing. Now stay with me. Do not leave early. Because next I will explain how this blessing works, how it reaches houses, how faith protects it through the year, and I will reveal the final mark that will help you know this message was meant for you personally. You are asking whether your house can truly be filled before the year ends. The answer does not come from excitement. It comes from my word. In Proverbs 3:9-10, I said this clearly. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. Notice the order. Honor first, then filling, then overflow. Overflow is not accidental. It is the result of alignment. Now, listen to this promise. In Deuteronomy 28:8 I declared, "The Lord will command the blessing on you in your barns and in all that you undertake." I did not say you must chase blessing, I said I will command it. When I command, resistance ends. This is why timing matters. There are moments when a blessing is spoken, and moments when it is commanded. Commanded blessings move faster because they no longer wait for conditions to change. Now hear this carefully. In Psalm 23 verse 5 I said, "You prepare a table before me, my cup overflows." Overflow happens at the table, not in chaos. At rest, not in panic, and in presence, not in fear. That is why I worked on your peace before I spoke about your provision. Now I want you to understand something very important. When I say your house will be full, I am not guessing. I am repeating a pattern I have already done. In 2 Kings 4:1-7, the widow's house was filled with oil. The oil did not stop because heaven ran out. It stopped because there were no more empty vessels. This teaches you a divine principle. The miracle ends when emptiness ends. If your house still has room, heaven still pours. Now hear this clearly. Your house is not only walls and rooms, and your house is your finances, your house is your stability, your house is your future planning. I am filling all of it. In Joel 2:24 I promised, "The threshing floor shall be full of grain. The vats shall overflow with wine and oil." This verse was spoken after loss, after famine, after years of struggle. Then I said in the very next verse that I will restore the years the locust has eaten. Restoration does not come slowly when the season changes. It comes when the season shifts. This is a shift. Now listen to this promise carefully. In Malachi 3:10 I said, "See if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need." I did not say until you feel happy. I said until there is no more need. Need ending is fullness. This is why I am speaking before the new year, not after it. Some years end empty because people wait for January. Some years end full because they listen before December closes. Now understand how this happens practically. I do not always send one large amount. Sometimes I cancel expenses. Sometimes I bring unexpected help. Sometimes I open doors that remove pressure. All of this is provision. In Philippians 4:19 I said, "My God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory." Not according to your salary, not according to the economy, and according to my riches. Now speak with me based on scripture, not emotion. Say this aloud. According to Proverbs 3, my storehouse is filled. According to Deuteronomy 28, God commands blessing over my house. According to Psalm 23, my cup overflows. Speak the word, because faith responds to truth. Now I will close with this final understanding. Overflow before the new year does not always mean excess money in hand. It means no lack follows you forward. It means provision is already arranged. It means pressure lifts. That is the miracle. In Isaiah 60:22 I said, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen swiftly." Swiftly does not mean loudly. Swiftly means without delay. The time is right. Your house will not enter the new year empty. Your storehouse will not be dry. Your table will not lack. You are asking whether it is truly possible for your house to be filled before the year ends. Let me answer this clearly through Scripture. In Haggai 2:8-9, I said, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine, and the glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former." Notice that I did not say the glory would remain the same. I said it would be greater. This promise was given when people felt discouraged, tired, and uncertain about the future. Yet I spoke increase before completion. This teaches you something important. Increase does not wait for everything to look perfect. Now hear this promise. In Psalm 112 verse 3 it is written, "Wealth and riches are in his house, and his righteousness endures forever." This verse does not speak of wish or hope. It speaks of a condition already established for those who trust me. Wealth and riches are described as in the house, not approaching, not delayed. This is not my opinion, this is written truth. Now listen to how overflow works. In Luke 6:38 I said, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over." Running over means more than enough. It means provision that exceeds expectation. And notice this. Running over is described as something placed into your life, not something you chase. Overflow comes toward you. Now understand this carefully. Before overflow appears externally, fear must leave internally. That is why I have been speaking to your heart first. Fear blocks flow. Trust opens it. In Isaiah 58:11 I promised, "You shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water, whose waters do not fail." A spring does not depend on weather. It flows from a source. Your provision does not depend on circumstances. It depends on me. Now listen to this verse very carefully. In Deuteronomy 33:23 I said, "O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full of the blessing of the Lord." Satisfied. Full. These words matter. I do not bless halfway. I bless until satisfaction replaces striving. Now hear this truth. Many people believe miracles only happen suddenly, but Scripture shows that some miracles happen through steady filling. In Genesis 26, Isaac sowed in a year of famine, and he reaped 100-fold. The famine did not stop the harvest. Obedience activated it. This tells you something vital. Seasons do not limit me. Now I speak to your house again. In Psalm 128, 2-3, it is written, "You shall eat the fruit of the labor of your hands. You shall be blessed, and it shall be well with you." Notice the phrase, "it shall be well with you." That speaks of peace along with provision. This is the kind of blessing I am releasing. Now speak with me again based on Scripture. Say this aloud. According to Psalm 112, wealth and riches are in my house. According to Joel 2, what was lost is restored. According to Malachi 3, heaven is open over my life. Speak truth, not fear. Now hear this closing understanding. Overflow before the new year does not always come as sudden cash alone. Sometimes it comes as debts reducing, burdens lifting, doors opening, and peace returning to decisions. All of these are provision. In 2 Corinthians 9:8 I said, God is able to make all grace abound to you so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound. All sufficiency. All times. That includes now. Do not wait for January to believe. Believe now. Your house will not close this year empty. Your storehouse will not remain dry, and your table will not lack. My word has already declared it. Remain steady. Remain trusting. I am faithful to complete what I have spoken. My beloved child, now listen with full attention, because what I speak here is not repeated often, and not because I refuse to speak again, but because moments in life do not always return in the same form. There are seasons when I comfort you. There are seasons when I teach you. And there are rare seasons when I call you to stay still long enough to receive what cannot be rushed. This is one of those seasons. In Scripture, there were moments when people had one opportunity to listen before movement happened. When Noah spoke, the door did not remain open forever. When Joseph interpreted the dream, the season of preparation had a limit. When the angel stirred the waters, the healing was available only while the water moved. This teaches you something important. Timing matters. Today is not about fear, it is about attention. If you leave too early, it is not that blessing disappears forever, but understanding does. And when understanding is missed, people repeat cycles instead of stepping into new beginnings. That is why I ask you to stay. Now listen carefully. This December is not only closing a year, it is closing a pattern. Some patterns cannot follow you into what I am preparing. They must end fully, not partially. Scripture says, "Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing." Notice that the new thing begins when attention shifts. Many people pray for new beginnings while still holding old expectations. That is why they feel stuck. This is new. Now hear this truth: wealth, health, and peace move together when order is restored. I do not separate them. When one arrives without the others, imbalance follows. That is why I wait until the heart is ready. Scripture says that the blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow. If sorrow remains, blessing is incomplete. This month is about removing sorrow at the root, not covering it. That is why you may feel emotional, reflective, or unusually aware. This is not weakness. It is release beginning. Now I speak about urgency in a different way. Urgency is not pressure, urgency is recognition. When Elijah called Elisha, Elisha knew he could not delay. Not because he was afraid, but because he understood that calling moments do not wait for comfort. Today is a calling moment, and if you stay and listen fully, you will understand how to walk into what is coming calmly. If you rush away, you may still move forward, but without clarity, and clarity saves years. That is why I am asking you to stay today. Now hear this carefully. Distraction is not always loud. Sometimes it comes as boredom, impatience, or the thought that you can come back later. Scripture warns that the enemy steals the word that is sown when attention drifts. This is why staying matters, not because I am demanding, but because your future deserves understanding. Now I speak of wealth again, but in a way you may not have heard. True wealth begins when fear of lack leaves the mind. Before provision changes, thinking changes. That is why I speak first, then provide. Scripture says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." If the heart is still tired, blessing feels heavy. If the heart is free, blessing feels natural. This is why I am freeing hearts now. Now speak with me, not loudly, not emotionally, but honestly. Say this aloud. I choose understanding over hurry. I choose faith over distraction. I stay open to what God is doing. Say it slowly. These words are not a ritual, they are a decision. Now listen to this new truth. Some blessings come quickly. Some come deeply. Deep blessings change direction, not just circumstances. This message carries direction. If you stay, you will not just receive hope for December, but clarity for the year ahead. If you leave early, you may still receive, but you may not know how to protect what comes. That is why this moment matters. Scripture says wisdom is calling aloud in the streets, but only those who listen are established. Establishment, not excitement, is what I am building in you. Now stay with me, because next I will show you how what begins now carries into the new year, how faith keeps it steady, and I will reveal the final mark that confirms this message was meant for you.